Hello, everybody. I'm Dr. B, and I'm the owner of Capital Ventures Vending Group, which is a vending machine business. Today, I'm going to be telling you how to start a vending machine business. I see this question asked a lot in some of the vending machine Facebook groups that I'm in, and I wanted to make a video to help people get into the business. The first thing you need to do is to set up your business. This means you need to come up with a name for your business and a logo. You can use ChatGPT to help you come up with some creative names for your business. For a logo, you can head over to Canva and design your logo for free. After designing your logo and coming up with your business name, you want to register your business. So you need to file for an LLC and you need to get an EIN number. This is going to be on your state's website. Your state's website is going to tell you the forms you need and the steps to take to complete this. While you're on your state's website, you want to also check if they require any sort of vendor permits, any resale certificates. You want to look for that and take care of it while you're on the website. If they say you need a vending license, then you need to apply for that. This is state specific. Some states require a vending license, some states do not. You also want to look for the tax exempt information on your state's website. There should be some information to see if you are allowed to apply for tax exempt, and if you are, I recommend doing so that you're not paying taxes on products for your vending machine. If you are finding all of this to be too complicated, you can hire a company like LegalZoom. They help with LLC filing, they help with you getting your EIN, they also help you determine what licenses or permits you might need, and they can help you with your tax exempt application, and that's through LegalZoom. But again, all of this can be done on your own for free. LegalZoom is going to charge you a fee. You can figure out how to do it for free and save yourself some money. You can go on YouTube and look it up to see how to file it for your state, but you definitely need to get your business set up. The last thing you need to do to finish setting up your business is to open a business bank account. You can open a business bank account with a bank that you already use and have a relationship with, or you can use a new bank. You can use Bank of America, Navy Federal, you can use Blue Vine, you can Google different banks that you can use, but definitely open a business bank account. Once you've done all the work to get your business set up, now it's time to look for a location. Do not buy machines without having locations. You don't want to have 5 machines and you have nowhere to put them and now they're stuck in your garage. Another reason you don't want to buy machines first, because what if you have a drink machine but the location you found wants a combo machine? So now you need to go buy a separate machine because your drink machine isn't going to work there. So definitely find a location first. And I'm going to talk about how to go about finding locations. One way you can find a location is by walking into local businesses in your neighborhood and asking to speak with the property manager, the leasing manager, or whoever it is, the person in charge, the decision maker, and ask them if they would be interested in having your vending machine in their establishment. If the manager or decision maker is not in, you could leave a business card, you can leave a brochure, you can leave a flyer, and then follow up with another visit at a later time. The next way to secure locations is by doing cold calls. You can Google the different businesses in your area, get their phone numbers, and call them. When you call them, you want to ask for the person in charge or the person who is the decision maker and ask them if they're interested in having vending machines in their establishment. If you are anything like me, I absolutely hate making phone calls and I do not like to do the cold calls. So what I end up doing is going over to Fiverr.com and I hire someone there to do the cold calls for me. They return a list with phone numbers, places they've called, and give me ideas of who I should be calling back. Another way to secure a location is to send out mass emails to local businesses. You can go online, try to find those businesses' email addresses, and email them asking them if they are interested in having a vending machine in their establishment. In those emails, you can attach your proposal, you can attach a brochure, you can attach a catalog. You want to attach something showing more about your business. The next way to secure a location is to talk with your family and friends. Ask them if their jobs would be interested in vending machines. Sometimes your family or your cousin might have a boss who's your best friend who can get you in. So that's one way you can use that to your advantage. And last but not least, you can hire a locating company such as Vending Exchange or Venco. There are several locating companies online. You just have to look them up and just make sure they're legit. Just be careful because there's a lot of scams in this business. But I've used Vending Exchange, so I can vouch for them. They are legit. I haven't gotten any locations from them yet, but I've seen the locations and I'm just waiting for the right one. Again, keep in mind when you are dealing with locating companies, you have to pay a monthly fee. So you're paying $30 to $40 a month just to access their website. And then you're going to pay a separate fee to purchase the location that you want. Once you have your location, you are now ready to find your machine. You have to get the machine that the company wants or the machine that best fits the space that they have. Machines can be purchased at your local vending warehouse. All you have to do is Google vending machines near me and see who's selling vending machines. Go by the warehouse, and that's the safest way to purchase them. There are some reputable online companies such as Venco.com, WeAreVending.com. Those are the only two I know. And I know SamsClub.com. Sam's Club does sell vending machines and they have a rebate program. But you could also Google and research different vending machine companies. Make sure they have a phone number. Make sure the number you call is in America. They're not, in some other country, because those are usually scammers. You can also consider Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, and OfferUp, but be careful of the overwhelming scammers that are on those pages. Some of them are asking for deposits before you even see the machine. If they're asking you for a deposit, they are scammers. Do not do that. You also want to consider whether to buy a brand new machine or a used or refurbished machine. This will depend on your capital. If you have the capital, I would say buy a new machine. That way you don't have any problems. Stay away from buying super old machines because a lot of the old machines can't hook up to card readers, so you don't want them to be too old. I know someone who doesn't buy machines that are more than 2 years old, so you have to figure that out. But if you have the capital, I would say buy a new machine. If you don't have the capital, you can get a refurbished machine from a vending warehouse. Another thing you might come across when you're searching for machines are people who are selling machines that are already in locations, and we call that a route. And that's how I got started. I actually bought a route from someone. That person had 8 machines, and that's how I got into the business. The person I bought mine from had machines and they were already placed in locations, so I didn't have to do anything. All I had to do was buy it, get the contracts transferred over to me, and then I started working. That's an easier way to get into the business, but to find those routes, you have to look on places like Facebook Marketplace, Vending Exchange, and places like that. New machines could cost upwards of $4,000 to $10,000. Refurbished machines could cost a little bit less, and used machines, you can get those for like $1,000 and sometimes even less. But again, just have to be mindful of how old they are, if they're compatible with card readers, and the older they are, the more likely they are to have issues. As far as routes, and that is machines that are already on location, that prices for that will vary based on how many machines are in the route, what's the foot traffic, what's their yearly gross. My route was 8 machines, so I bought 8 machines on location, and that cost me $40,000. Once you decide on where you're going to buy your machine and you purchase it, it's set up and it's ready for delivery, you can start creating a service agreement for your location. It's like a contract, but without saying the word contract, because people find the word contract harsh, so we use service agreement or location agreement. You can use ChatGPT to write a service agreement for you. You can Google service agreements online, but there are some basic things that go in a service agreement, like the parties involved in the contract, the exact location of the vending machine, your maintenance plan, how often you're going to be restocking, your repair plan, what is the plan for when the machine is out, what are you going to do, and make sure you have something about a cancellation, so cancellation clause. When they no longer want your vending machine in their location, what do you want them to do? Should they give you a 30-day notice, a 45-day notice? You want to add that in there so that someone can't call you and say, hey, I need your machine out by tomorrow, because it's very hard to get locations and it requires a lot of logistics to move a machine. Again, you can use ChatGPT to help you with your service agreement. Another thing about the service agreement, do not mention commission. Do not say anything about it at all unless they bring it up. Now, if the client brings up commission, that they want commission, try not to go over 10%. But you don't bring it up, let them bring it up. Okay, so far we've discussed setting up your business, finding locations and how to secure them, purchasing machines and where to purchase them from, and we've discussed service agreement. Next, let's talk about selecting products for your machine. To decide what products to put in your machine, you can always ask the client for recommendations. You can add a suggestion sheet and tape that to the machine. That way customers can rate different products they want you to put in the machine, so you get some recommendations from them. You also want to consider demographics. If you are in a Hispanic area and most of your customers are Hispanic, then you want to have Hispanic snacks in there. Your products should match your demographics. But the way most of us figure this out is through trial and error. If I put 10 Cokes in there on Monday, and when I come back next Monday and there's still 10 Cokes, better believe I'm going to remove those Cokes and replace it with something else. So trial and error, just by seeing what moves and what doesn't move, is how you can decide what products to put inside your machine. You can purchase your products from wholesalers like Sam's Club, BJ's, Costco. You can look up wholesalers in your neighborhood, local wholesalers, local distributors, and get your products from there. You can get products from Kroger. You can get products from Walmart, your local grocery stores. Follow the sales. Where whoever is having a sale is where you should get whatever product you're looking for from. So if I'm buying Monster and Monster's on sale at Kroger, I'm going to get it at Kroger and not at Sam's Club that week. It just varies based on who has a sale. You want to chase those sales. Now let's talk about product pricing. How should you price your products? You should price your products at least 50% more than you paid for it. If I bought a bag of chips for 50 cents, in my machine, I'm going to sell those chips for $1 or more, 50% or more than what I paid. And don't be afraid to hike up those prices. They are paying you for a convenience. It doesn't matter if there's a grocery store right next to you. I don't care if there's a Walmart next door. They are paying for a convenience. If they wanted to walk to Walmart, then they would walk, but they didn't. They wanted the convenience, so you're going to pay for it. So I don't try to compete with what's in the area. The only thing I would compete with is if there's another vending machine next to mine. And if that person's selling chips for $1.75, then I need to either match or undercut. I might sell mine for $1.70, just so I can put it a little less. But other than that, they are paying for a convenience, and don't be afraid to jack up those prices, especially on clients that charge commission. If I'm paying a 15% commission or a 10% commission, you better believe those prices are going to reflect that. They're going to be a little bit higher than my locations that don't have any commission. For step 8, you want to determine your restock schedule. This is based on demand. If your items are selling out quickly, consider a weekly restock. If items are not moving as fast, you can consider restocking every 2 weeks. Again, this is going to vary based on the foot traffic of your specific location. Using a card reader software like Nayax monitors your inventory and shows what products need to be restocked. I can always go on my Nayax app and see which machine needs products, and then I can restock based off of that, and it helps me with my restocking schedule. And lastly, you want to find a technician, someone to repair your machine ahead of time. You want to do this before your machine starts to give you problems, because it will, and you don't want to be fumbling and Googling at the last minute. You want to have them on deck already so that when your machine does give you a problem, you already know who to call. Again, to find local technicians, this is something you can Google. And that's it. So we've discussed how to set up your business. We've discussed finding a location first. You can do this by walking in. You can do this by cold calls. You can do this by networking with family and friends. You can do this by mass emails, or you can hire a locating service. We discussed where to buy your machines. I recommend buying them from a local vending machine warehouse in your neighborhood. You can look online and try to identify reputable online companies. I know for sure Venco.com is reputable. WeAreVending.com and SamsClub.com are some of those websites that I know are legit. But you can research and see which others you can find. You can consider Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, and OfferUp, but also be careful because there are a lot of scammers there. We discuss whether to buy a new machine or an old machine or a refurbished machine. I recommend buying new machines if you have the capital. If you don't have the capital, then you can look at something refurbished. If you do buy something used, try not to get something that's more than like 2 to 5 years old, because the older the machine is, the more likely it is to have problems, and it might not even be able to use card readers. We also talked about service agreements and to not mention commission in those service agreements unless the client has already brought it up. We went over selecting products for your machine and how your products should match your demographics. You want to try to get suggestions from the people who are going to be using your machine. We discussed where to get your products from, places like Sam's Club, BJ's, Costco, or local businesses, even better if they have a sale. Then we went on to discuss pricing your products and how to price them, and you want to price them at least 50% more than what you paid for. Next, we talked about establishing your restock schedule. Restocking is based on demand. Locations with high foot traffic could need restocking 1 to 2 times per week. Locations that are slower may require restocking every 2 weeks. You'll need to determine this based on the patterns you see. Lastly, I said to find a technician ahead of time. That way, when something happens to your machine, you're not scrambling trying to find one then. And there you have it. That's how you start a vending machine business. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Stay tuned. I'm definitely going to be posting more informational videos about the vending machine business. See you guys next time.